Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome to a new game of Total War Warhammer, where today we're playing as Norsca, specifically Wulfrik the Wanderer, and we'll talk about exactly why Wulfrik the Wanderer in just a moment, after we talk about what it means to play as Norsca. So if you've played the base game at all, you're familiar with who Norsca is. They're up here in the northern part of the world, across the Sea of Claws, and basically, no matter which faction you play, they show up toward the end of the game and just kind of like raid all your stuff from the north and generally are a huge pain in the ass. But they've always been kind of boring to play against. You know, they're like, their armies are all like 10 units of chariots and then some guys who throw axes or whatever. And really, it's more annoying than dangerous, but boy oh boy is it annoying. Now, Norsca has been turned into a full-fledged faction with a full roster and its own unique mechanics, and hopefully this will be really interesting for the rest of the factions, but primarily it's interesting for us today playing as Norsca. The northern marauders thirst for battle, raiding and pillaging the lands across the Sea of Claws under their patron god's ever-watchful gaze. So we have this mechanic where things we do during the campaign can be devoted to one of the four gods the Norscans worship. The serpent, the crow, the eagle, and the hound. And as you devote more and more acts to them, you gain more and more benefit from that allegiance. So we can, by praying to the serpent, we can unlock a specialist chaos sorcerer, Kihar the Tormentor, as well as a significant recruit rank bonus for lords, and a big upkeep bonus for all of our units. It's probably going to end up being a lot of gold. If we champion the crow, we can unleash a devastating plague across the world. I don't know what the mechanics of that are, but that sounds pretty good. And we can make our characters recover from wounds very quickly, and a significant, very significant casualty replenishment rate bonus can be unlocked for all of our units. That really, 20% is a big deal. If we pledge allegiance to the Hound, we can unlock a unique and extremely powerful Hell Cannon battery unit, the Ice Forged Legion, as well as getting XP gain for all of our units every turn, and a significant amount of weapon strength for all of our melee infantry. And if we go after the Eagle, we can unlock a Lord of Change to lead one of our armies, as well as plus winds of magic for all of our forces, and a significant research rate bonus. I think we're probably going to go for the Hound, because weapon strength is always great to have, and I want Hell Cannons. Hell Cannons are awesome. So, we have this god stuff. We also have some other things to think about. Norscan settlements do not generate a lot of money. That's just not, it's just not how we do. So we're going to have to make a lot of our money through raiding and sacking, pillaging, burning, that kind of stuff. Good old raiding Viking stereotype stuff. It's going to be a very aggressive campaign. We also have this monstrous arcanum thing that allows us to hunt legendary monsters and then defeat them and take trophies and stuff. We're definitely going to dig into some of that. We can confederate the Norscan tribes by defeating their leaders in battle. You can get a Norscan tribe to confederate just the normal way by, increasing diplomatic standing. But if you defeat their leader in battle, that'll give you a ton of standing. And finally, we can establish marauder outposts at conquered coastal settlements outside of Norsca, down in the south, which will allow us to do basic recruitment there. But for the majority of the game, we're only going to be able to recruit our really good units up here in the north. So it's going to be kind of a pain in the ass logistically to hold any territory down south. But securing major capital cities will allow us to build full-fledged settlements with unique technologies, which I'm pretty excited about. So let's have a quick look at what that means. Okay, so you can see here, in this part of the tech tree, we split into increased sacking income for different groups of empires, and then a tech that is specifically oriented to fighting each of the different forces of the south. And finally, a tech that only unlocks if you occupy a particular southern capital. 500% trade agreement tariffs, 25 growth in all provinces. These are really powerful. 10% research rate, minus 20% upkeep for all land units everywhere. Okay, these are really, really powerful. Plus 25 weapon strength, all forces. Minus 3 enemy siege holdout time. Okay, occupying Altdorf seems like a pretty good long-term goal. Hero success chance way, way down. A huge bonus to our replenishment rate. And finally, if we take over Black Crag, Karak Draws. Does Black Crag have a different name when it's controlled by dwarves? I didn't know that. Immunity to all attrition for all forces and plus 50% income from post-battle loot. These are really powerful. Okay, so not like we needed an excuse, but obviously we're highly incentivized to take over some enemy capitals. But I think the first tech we're going to research is actually this. We're going to unlock the level 1 monster hunts, because I want to see what monster hunting is all about. I want to get some cool monster loot. Alright, so we have started... What's our diplomatic status here? Let's, where's the... It's been a little while since I played. Okay, here we go. So we've started the game at war with the Scalings. And the other Norscan tribes, I mean, they don't like us, because we're all Norscans, and nobody likes anybody up here. We actually have a non-aggression pact with the Vanaheimlings to our west. Okay. So we're going to want to focus most of our violence sort of northeastward toward the Scalings for a while. And we started the game at war with Britannia, fair enough. But interestingly, not at war with Nordland or Marienburg, which are right across the Sea of Claws from us. I would have expected. Huh. Well...
Undefeated.
Good enough for me. We can actually see this settlement, and it looks like there's no army defending it. Maybe this is crazy, but I'm gonna run over there. Let's see if we can conquer it before backup shows up. They have 6 units, we have 7 units, but one of our units is Wulfric the Wanderer, and we also have some like cool stuff. We have Berserkers. What is your deal, Berserkers? Well, you have the Berserk ability. There's a 66-second buff that increases in effectiveness over time. That's pretty interesting. And of course, they have Frenzy, which makes them do a lot of damage if they a lot of bonus damage if their leadership is high. Immune to psychology, causes fear. Oh, you know what? I think the causes fear is from our lord, actually. So we're playing as Wulfric the Wanderer. There are actually 2 Norscan tribes that you can play as. Wulfric's tribe or Throg's tribe. And the reason we're playing as Wulfric is that in the pre-release footage, a lot of stuff went up on YouTube. People seem to be pretty excited about playing as Throg. I figure there's going to be a lot of footage out there for people who want to see that, but maybe people want to see the other thing too. So Wulfric's deal is he's a born warrior. He has the siege attacker attribute, which means we can start siege battles without having to first build siege weapons. He has significant reinforcement range bonus, and all the units in his army cause fear. There's 2 big things that are important about that. Number 1 is that's going to make us really good at fighting other like Norscan forces, because Norscan forces have pretty poor leadership in the first place, and having to engage in melee with units that cause fear is going to drain their morale even faster. And number 2, units that have fear are immune to fear. Or units that cause fear are immune to fear, so this will be of benefit later on when we're fighting against, like, the vampires, most of whose units cause fear and stuff. But remember, it's only this army, so once we have 2 armies up, we gotta remember one of them is not immune to fear. But yeah, I think we're just gonna go straight for a Longship Graveyard. I think we can probably take it. And finally... Alright, our... central building chain, it looks like it doesn't do anything special. It's just kind of the same as everybody's. A little bit of income, public order, growth, and the garrison. And we have access to some other stuff. We have a port, which generates way less money than ports usually do. Jeez. We have sparring fields, which currently allows us to unlock spearmen and marauders and hunters. Oh yeah, these are like javelin throwing guys. Okay. We should probably upgrade this. If we upgrade it, we'll be able to unlock hunters who throw armor-piercing axes, it looks like. That's maybe not that great for fighting other Norscans, because I expect most of our units are going to be pretty much unarmored. You can see we have a lot of dudes who have 15 armor. Norscans don't even believe in clothing, much less armor. Great weapon marauders, but we need a smithy, and marauder berserkers. Okay, so we're definitely upgrading this so that we can recruit more berserkers. And I guess we're gonna... Okay, we probably want to take over our whole starting province, right? So the Longship Graveyard and the Doom Keep is up here. Okay. Ooh, also, maybe we shouldn't be taxing this province, since the province income is only 70, and we're shedding public order. Or maybe I do want to leave it taxed, so that we can spawn a rebellion on purpose, and then we can kick their asses for money. Take all their stuff. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to leave that checked for now. We may end up intentionally provoking a rebellion, just so that we can put him down. Man, there are so many forces in the game now. When the combined Grand Campaign map comes with the second game, it's going to be a pretty significant delay, I think, between between turns. So, Rangvald Thanefrost. Yeah, obviously we're just going to auto-resolve. I will be auto-resolving battles when it makes sense to do so. We're not going to play out everything.
This settlement is yours to do.
Alright, and I'm done with Advisor Man. So we probably want to occupy it, right? We want to take over our home province, I think. We can raise settlements that we conquer in the name of our gods, but I think we want to have a province for ourselves, probably. Okay, and we'll look into what all of his stuff does later, but I can't imagine it's wrong to take this. I take Route Marcher on pretty much every character all the time. Just campaign movement is so good. Alright, so what's the best way up to the Doom Keep, I wonder?
To the four corners.
So we can't move around this coast, and we don't have access to the fancy movement modes that would let us get through the mountains, so I guess the way to the Doom Keep is just back the way we came. And we should probably recruit guys. So what is actually the difference between a Berserker and like a basic Marauder? The basic Marauder has 10 more melee defense and has a shield, which helps to protect against ranged attacks from the front, but is worse in every other way, although I suppose his recruit cost is less than half. Yeah, let's get some Berserkers. Oh, you know what? We should also get some ranged units, because we currently don't really have any. We have Skin Wolves. That's interesting. Marauder Ice Wolves Chariot that fires armor-piercing missiles. Huh, what is that icon? Oh, okay. It attacks dramatically slow enemies. That's cool. What is the story with a Skin Wolf? What is this guy? He has regeneration, frenzy, does bonus damage versus large. How much bonus damage? Quite a bit. And actually a lot of his damage is armor piercing too. Okay, these guys are pretty cool. But yeah, it seems like we really want to go pretty deep on the Berserkers. Let's get some ranged units. We don't need a ton of them, but because Norscan forces have poor morale, poor leadership, ranged units are really, really powerful. Because it's very easy to deplete a unit's morale by firing ranged attacks at it. If you've ever played an Orc campaign, or if you watched the Warzag campaign that we did right here on this channel, you will know that just firing even very weak ranged units can have a powerful effect when fighting low morale enemies. We probably don't need a ton more ranged units. Let's also get some Berserkers. Making an okay amount of money. I'm sure once our force is built up, it's going to not be long-term sustainable, and we're going to have to survive on raiding and stuff. So how's our... We're at negative 41. What is this called for? It has different names for different factions. What is this called for us? Okay, it's just public order. So we have negative 41 public order.
My challenge? Undeniable.
Do I want to try to provoke a rebellion before I ride off to the Doom Keep? No, let's get the Scalings dealt with. In part, I think this is a good tactical idea. Huh. We only have 2... Wait a minute. Does taxing our province... It does. Taxing our province increases our local recruitment capacity. Does it say that? Yes, we'll provide an additional recruitment slot. Man, has that always been the case for all factions? I guess with most factions I just leave taxation on and find a way to fix my public order problems. Well, let's just recruit like a lot of berserkers, because berserkers seem neat. And I guess we'll leave taxation enabled. I'm not gonna upgrade the longship graveyard because I want to upgrade the building here. We can't afford to lose a point of population surplus. So if we have to leave taxation enabled to get the recruitment speed we want, I'm worried that we might provoke a rebellion whether we want to or not. Oh, actually, okay, we can turn off taxation now. It's going to be 2 turns to finish building our force, regardless of whether that's on or not. And we're only at plus 128 per turn. Recruiting 4 more units of marauders is going to be basically all of our money. Or of berserkers, so let's not do that. We'll get some more basic marauders, I guess. We're still going to go negative, but we'll go less negative. Alright, so we have basic monster hunting. Do I want to just get level 2 monster hunts available right away? Hold on, let's... What exactly do we have here? I'm capable of reading the text myself. Weird old man. So, a dangerous, murderous frostworm is a great offering to the gods indeed, and none are more dangerous and murderous than Frigistrix, scion of the cold void. Huh. So if we hunt down this frostworm, we get a piece of armor that enables frostbite attacks and is pretty okay armor. And gives us a vortex spell. That's cool. And we get to have a frostworm. I mean, 10,000 money? Really? Yeah, let's hunt monsters, huh? So let's... What other choices do we have? We hunt down some big Cygors, but we don't actually get a unit from this one. We just get a trophy. Is that the case with most of them? This guy also just gives us a trophy. They all give us a huge amount of money. And we can't see the rest. Okay, well, let's definitely take this quest.
A good choice, my lord.
With the appearance of giant winged monsters, frostworms are thought to be a type of chaos-mutated dragon that dwells in the underground passageways of the old world's coldest climes. Amongst the northern tribes, there are tales of one such monstrous frostworm called Frigistrix, scion of the cold void, that has terrorized the tundra for centuries. Witnesses say that when it comes out of hibernation, it emerges from the ground in a heartbeat to indiscriminately devour all unknowing passers-by who get too close to its territory. Located somewhere at the frozen northern end of Troll Country. Troll Country is northeastern Kislev, I think. Recently, the Tower of Krak and the surrounding areas north of Troll Country have been inexplicably blanketed by freakishly bad snowstorms. Word also reaches you that entire tribes have disappeared from the region without a trace, reportedly perishing in the extreme weather. This is highly unusual. It is not like the hardy Northmen to succumb to the freezing elements so easily. A more likely explanation is brought to you by a few survivors who managed to escape the storm. They say that it was not the icy weather that swallowed their fellow tribesmen up, but a giant dragonish shadow lurking in the blinding blizzard. Was it a dragon, we asked them? And they said, it was dragonish. If there is even the slightest chance that the fabled Frigistrix is out of hibernation and on the prowl, then further investigation is warranted. This could end up being a bountiful hunt indeed. Yeah, I'd like 10,000 gold, that's for sure. So we have to raid the Tower of Krak. Okay, well, that's kind of a medium-term goal, then. Okay, you just recruit. Actually, we're not going to have the money to upgrade our warband camp. Okay, so we don't want to pick up level 2 monster hunts then because we don't have the time to do them right now. We're kind of focused. Do I want to start getting ready for raiding down south? Plus leadership for all of our units sounds pretty okay. Plus income from sacking settlements. Oh, extra campaign movement range. I like that a lot. Vigor loss reduction for marauder infantry. Yeah, some of this stuff would be valuable. A little public order bonus wouldn't hurt either. Recruit cost down. Weapon strength up. Actually, let's go for some of this. I like weapon strength up a lot. So we'll head toward Blade Worker's Hammer. And after we clear out the Doom Keep... Well, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's focus on actually getting the Doom Keep clear first. So with these other factions, what we really want to do, rather than just declaring normal war on them, is we want to figure out where their lords are and attack their lords directly. Let's get a couple more units of cheap dudes, or we could, I mean... Yeah, I'll do this. A normal marauder and then another berserker. And then we'll make up the financial difference by murdering the crap out of people. Over and over, until it sticks. That's how things are in the north. Alright, let us go a-slaughtering. Who are these guys?
Shriek, what's theirs?
They have an 18 stack.
A challenge?
Should I attack them? I kind of have stuff going on.
Done and done. Ahead!
Do I want to try to negotiate with them, maybe?
I will hear you. Let's find somewhere quiet to talk.
So you'd probably take a non-aggression pact, but I don't know if I want a non-aggression pact. First of all, I think that the other Norskins might judge me for pursuing non-aggression. And secondly, after I take Doomkeep, these guys would be really convenient to turn around and raid. As would Varg. I think I'm not going to pursue any kind of peace. Let's just push on. If they want to fight, we'll fight. My army's, like, pretty terrifying, I think. Alright, well, we lowered recruitment cost after doing all of our recruiting, so that was solid. Probably it was not worth taking Monster Hunters so early before we could really do the monster hunting, but I didn't know how it worked. Had to find out. Alright, we can't quite make it to Doomkeep this turn. Let's stop outside of its reinforcement range. Oh. Felman Ingerson and his buddy. Between them, we're looking at like seven units in the garrison. So we're looking at like 23 real units plus 2 lords, whereas we have 19 real units plus 1 lord. This doesn't bode that well for me. That said, the units I can see here are not terribly scary. Do I know what's in this garrison? Marauder champions, great weapons, spears. Spears are not particularly effective against us. Spears are just kind of like straight worse than normal marauders because the anti-large benefit of spears won't really help them against us. We don't have anything large. Oh, I think I have a chariot. My chariot unit is large, but my chariot unit's also a ranged unit, right? So, I mean, I guess we'll see how this turns out. They didn't come after us. Your warrior smiths come to you with an intriguing idea. If they mix blood from the most recent sacrifices into the very metal they are working, they believe the gods will approve and either make the weapons stronger or make the armor more effective. But how should they use this blood iron? Listen, I don't know a ton about metallurgy, but I don't think you're supposed to intentionally mix a bunch of impurities into the metal. Ah, yes, okay. So the blessing of the gods will work, but the metal is weaker, and so it makes the other thing worse. Well, obviously we take attack.
The eternal challenger.
We don't need defenses if we just kill our enemies before they can hit us. So it looks like his other army bugged off. I mean, it wouldn't have been particularly relevant anyway. This is Felman Ingerson. This is the leader of the Skalings. I guess they only have this settlement left.
I'll rip out guts.
We failed to spot an enemy ambush. Yeah, with the one guy? Wait. Hold on. Does the one Soul Lord's army... I'm kind of curious. What happens if I auto-resolve this? We may quick load and do it manually, but I should like totally wreck him, right?
Tribe, my lord.
A Pyrrhic victory.
The way for a simple and forceful confederation between you both.
Gain control of Norscan tribes through the language of battle. Learn more about tribal confederation here. Okay, this is all that... It seems like this text could have just been in here, but alright. Killing Norscan faction leaders in battle will force their faction to confederate. Okay, it's not even that it makes it more likely, it forces them. Okay, well, we can enslave the captives. We can kill the captives. That's a good look. We could sacrifice the captives to the Chaos Gods in return for their favor, which has very little benefit. Like, really, really very little. Well, that's not totally an ideal outcome. The fact that that was able to function as an ambush, the fact that Lamont Torgerson by himself laying in wait caused the entire battle to be an ambush is kind of phenomenally dumb, but we beat him, I guess I'll take it. Oh hey, we unlocked a regiment for now. And the Featherfoe Torque, which will make us better at fighting flying units, if ever such a thing should happen. A Bearsonling Berserker. Plus 10% weapon strength for Marauder Berserker units in the Lord's Army, and plus this is bananas! What? This absolute nutter is a match for even is even a match for most other berserkers, such as his unrestrained axe rage. That guy seems really good for our army. So wait, why are they... Get defeated. Get out of my territory. We could have just had them confederate, but like... Let's kill him. Because listen, I have a lot of pent-up frustration toward Felman Ingerson from previous games. Oh, and you can get a normal berserker. We found a charmed shield. Okay. Well, we made a pretty good amount of money off of that. Public orders in the toilet, as you would expect. And I think I do want to upgrade my main settlement structure. What is this? Generates income and increases income from raiding faction-wide. Oh! So, okay, if we get a bunch of Norscan settlements going, we could get a bunch of these little stacking faction-wide bonuses, maybe? Gets up to 10% and increases sacking income as well. Interesting. Hey you.
Deity protects you. It ends here. We'll spill your blood.
So what happens if I confederate them now, like...
Norsca!
No, I'm just going to let them die off, because if we confederate with them, we're going to get a penalty to the other Norscan factions for a little while, right? That's how confederation usually works. Alright, so let's see... Oh, hey, what is this? There's no outrunning the terrible flying longship known as the Sea Fang. He has a flying longship? So what is it? This summons my flying ship? It's strong against men. It's strong against units that have 120 men or more. And it does the frostbite effect. And some damage, I'm assuming? It doesn't actually say that it does damage, but I think it's kind of assumed. Okay, so it looks like he has a pretty normal yellow line. Get some very basic stats for yourself. Get Foe Seeker, of course. And then, yeah, weapon strength, hit points, leadership, speed. I don't know if flat speed is very common. His never-ending quest to challenge the best, challenge and best, the most gifted warriors, grants him this, you can cast this on enemy lords and heroes, and it dramatically lowers their armor, defense, and their speed. It's nice to have a thing that prevents people from fleeing from you, at least. What other kind of cool stuff does he have? A big ambush chance bonus, better chance of intercepting people who are trying to sneak around you, big armor-piercing damage bonus, lots of weapon strength as long as you're attacking, a war mammoth, I am extremely down with that. Okay, so the normal berserker that we found must be a thing that has to be equipped to a hero, not a lord. But I'm very excited about this guy. So what other stuff do we have? Pretty normal blue line, it looks like. Yeah, recruitment cost, sacking income, casualty replenishment rate. This could end up being really good. Growth. Bonus hero recruit rank for Skin Wolf Werekin. Huh. Lightning Strike will definitely want to get this. At some point, maybe not right away. Another point of replenishment rate. Okay. That stuff's cool. So Warhounds, Marauder Cavalry, Skin Wolves. We have a unit of Skin Wolves. I'm not 100% sure what their deal is, but big bonuses to Mammoths. That's cool. And Marauder Spearmen. Reload time reduction and missile damage for Marauder Hunters. I think Hunters are going to be important when fighting these like large monsters for the monster hunts, because they're a ranged unit that has anti-large. It seems pretty important. Oh, big bonuses to Marauder Berserkers. Let's do this. We have 2 skill points. We could just go bam, bam. Yeah, I think with this army, we're going to lean really hard into those Marauder Berserkers. Seems like a fine way to go. Okay, and let's grab a Regiment of Renown. How are these guys different from normal... Oh, I can't even compare them to any Marauders because we lost all of our basic Marauders. Well, we should probably get some more. So these guys they're just basic Marauders, but they have some better stats. Oh no, actually there's something else going on here. Oh, they have infinite vigor. They're immune to psychology, they have rage. Okay. Those are some pretty effective units. So his army's just gonna, like, die, right? He's suffering attrition now because he has no settlements, and he's a lone guy. Well, you know what? I respect it. He kills 23 of my men? What? We actually lost a unit of Berserkers to him. That is completely insane to me. Okay, well, we obliterated the Scalings, and I have to say, I've never been happier. Seriously, screw the Scalings. Okay, and a Regiment of Renown of Berserkers. Absolutely, we will take this. What's the actual difference between these guys and a normal Berserker unit? Wow, a lot of extra health. And these guys are unbreakable. No leadership loss, will never rout. Okay.
To the 4 corners.
More bonuses for Berserkers. This is the Berserker army. So what's going on here? The Varg are being raided by Ulf Einarsson. So, like, Ulf Einarsson is the leader of this faction? He is.
Find somewhere quiet.
Man, if we weren't in such ragged shape... Let's take another turn, let ourselves heal up all the way. We can't really do any recruiting. We're going to run out of money. Let's take another turn, let ourselves heal up all the way, and then I think I'm going to attack this guy, because if we can defeat him in battle, then his faction will be eager to confederate with us, right? I'm pretty sure that that's what all of the words said. A recruiting surplus. As the Blood God knows all too well, war is a meat grinder that constantly requires fresh supplies, which means recruits are not always easy to come by. On this rare occasion, however, there is a glut of bodies ready and willing to join the fray. Recruitment costs down. But you know what would be really cool? Is if we had upkeep costs down. Okay, well this just got more difficult because he's taken this over. Man, I would really, really like to catch this guy off guard. Ooh, he has trolls in his army. Maybe that would not be as easy as I'm hoping. Well, we need money. If we start taxing the province, we at least are operating at a surplus, but, like... Military presence is only giving us 5 per turn. I'm wondering if maybe what I should do is go back home. Because I think when a province has a rebellion occur, I believe the rebellion generally occurs... the rebellion army spawns outside the province capital. So maybe we head back here and prepare to do battle with some rebels. This has to be a losing idea, right? 16 units versus 26. Even though my units are mostly berserkers, which are very good, and my berserkers are super buffed by stuff. You know what? Honestly, we're just gonna throw a quick save on here. I'm kind of curious. Let's just see. Let's just see what happens.
Northmen come.
Because my army does fear, and his army is probably like pretty poor leadership and morale. We have skin wolves and stuff. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. No allies have chosen to become involved in this dispute, because who believes in allies? So we totally have him. And we raise the settlement for the Hound, maybe? Like, start accumulating. Or maybe we want to occupy it because we want to build up a bunch of... Maybe we want to save this stuff until we head south. This gives us 6 favor, but robs us of 2 favor with the other gods. And how much do we actually, like... What does that mean, 6 favor? That means you have to do it 5 times in order to just get level 1 with the god? You have to do... Okay, you have to do a lot of them to get to level 3. So in a sense, that makes me want to get started, but equally it makes me want to think... It makes me think, whatever, we'll deal with it later, because it's not something I can accomplish anytime soon. And I think I do want to take over most of Norsca. We want to have access to building slots, I think.
The correct path.
Alright, we found another berserker. We gotta get some heroes.
What a timely arrival. My warhounds haven't eaten in days.
Hell yeah. Get confederated. Bam, King of the North. I wonder if I could do that with the Varg. Well, hold on. Okay, let's have a look at our new takings. So what do we have here? We have the Greyling Moot is already level 3. It has a slightly upgraded. It has an upgraded Beast Tanner. Okay, looks like their defensive structure line is pretty similar to everybody else's, except it doesn't let you build walls. Oh, the capital of the region doesn't... Norscan settlements just never have walls. That makes sense. Fair enough. What else do we have here? We have a corral. So, Marauder, Horsemasters, Marauder, Ice Wolves, Chariot. This is what we have, right? So these guys are also missile cavalry. So this is mostly ranged cavalry units. That's fine, I guess. I'm not super excited about that. Is there a lot of value in upgrading the port? Not really. What else do we have access to? A smithy, which of course lets us create great weapons. We need a ruinous kiln to recruit war mammoths. I'm very excited about the concept of recruiting war mammoths. And we need an offering of slaughter to get ice trolls, and an offering of war to get ice wool or frostworms. So we need to construct some of these buildings in the capital, which is the only place we'll be able to level them up in. What is this? The ruinous altar. Oh, casters. We have access to the lords of fire and death metal. I mean, it's pretty metal up here. There's no two ways about that. We have a research rate building and a growth building. That's pretty good. Ooh, and it lowers upkeep for all of our units. It's a very small amount, but get a couple of those in a couple of different provinces. Could be valuable. So I think in a lot of our settlements, in the smaller settlements, right, we just want to build up these 2 buildings and get them maxed out. We probably favor the first dash over the other one. We have access to some fancier units now. And we gotta look at this too. So the Warhound kennels allow us to build Norscan Warhounds. We have kennels already over here. Skin Wolves, Norscan Ice Wolves, and Skin Wolf Werekins. This is one of our heroes. We do need to get some heroes. We should have heroes. And we could get Armored Skin Wolves if we build it in the province capital. I think it's probably fine for it to be in the Monolith of Catan for now. This is where we get our trolls from. Ooh, manticores. and Fimir. Okay, Fimir caster units. Fimir, that is a that is a deep cut from the Games Workshop back catalog right there. I thought that Fimir were one of those things that was never coming back, and maybe with good reason. And then this is the mammoth structure. We want mammoths. Ooh, and Norscan giants. I want mammoths real bad, so we're gonna definitely want to save a slot in the Grayling mood for that, or at least in our one of our province capitals. Okay, so this increases chaos corruption, which is not going to be a problem in the north. We don't have to worry about that. But down south, we'll want to build these. For now, building this will give me access to sorcerers, and I think it would be a good idea to have access to a couple of heroes. We've also picked up a second army, led by Vali Snaggerson. Actually, let me look at the Recruit Lords panel. Okay. So we do not have whoever the guy was that was leading this faction before as a choice. We can unlock this Lord of Change by aligning with the Eagle God. We are not actually the same faction as Throg the Troll King, and so we cannot unlock him. But if we force his faction to confederate with ours, I bet we can. I don't know which... Is this him? No, I don't think he is the Nagelfarlings. That sounds like some stuff that a cultist of Cthulhu might say to you. Alright, well, I guess we'll upgrade this too. I mean, it is income. And our income's all positive and everything for the moment. Do I want to just go after the Varg? Like, what does the diplomatic map of the north look like right now? If we took the Varg... yeah, we're not actually that far off of just taking over all of the north. Yeah, okay. The Varg are next. We can worry about the southerners once we have our own house in order. I'm getting nervous about this, though.
To the four corners.
What was that building that we're building here? It gives 2 public order right away. +1 for every concurrent war with a neighboring faction. That might be the solution to our public order problems. I probably want to dismiss the secondary army, actually. Because if we dismiss these guys, we'll have a little bit more upkeep overhead to fill out Wulfric's army. Which is certainly the more important. Alright, so we disband that army. Yeah, that gives us a little bit of headroom. We don't actually have the money to do recruiting, but we could. We will eventually. Actually, next turn when this is done, we'll probably try to recruit a sorcerer. So let's go park in Doomkeep for a minute. I wonder where their leader is, and if there's a good way to know. He might be at home, but he also might be out raiding. Oh, hey, we have whole provinces. We should issue... Nope. Nope, never mind. We don't have commandments. I guess that makes sense. Alright, well, we're going to have to let our forces heal up a little bit before we're ready to go after the Varg, I guess. I think things are going well so far. Okay, we have our Blade Worker's Hammer. Plus speed and charge bonus for chariot and cavalry. Plus armor for our infantry. And then plus defense and armor for chariots and cavalry. And ammunition and damage for our missile units. And attack and defense for all of the marauders. Well, we probably want to go to Axemaker Stone next. And this stuff over here, this is like, yeah, this is for fancy units. We don't really have the units to benefit from this stuff just yet. We might want to head down into this tree, though, eventually. We're gonna need some time to build up these faction-specific counterattacks. Still have all of these guys. Yeah, I'm gonna just try to fill us up again here. So with only one army, with us only being able to barely afford to run one army right now, it's a little tricky for me to know whether we want to go after the Varg camp or whether we want to just push east. A surfeit of loot. While raiding across the sea, your warriors discovered rich pickings in a coastal village that was easily overcome. So rich, it turns out that your ships, already heavy with earlier plunder, cannot carry all that you wish to take. What should they load up with? So we could take all the iron and metal, anything that can be melted down to become weapons, to lower our upkeep for 10 turns, or we can do some other thing. Lower the upkeep for 10 turns. We need that very badly. I don't know. So pick up some more ranged units, and then we probably need to, like, get a move on. I'm gonna push east. If the Varg leader's army is at Varg camp... Oh, hey, we're happy. That's actually very convenient. Distract your people with brutish games. I don't have to do anything. They distract themselves with the brutish games. Oh, my army's pretty good. It's getting strong. Oh, right, heroes. I was going to recruit a shaman sorcerer, except I cannot. Oh, because I have to do it here, duh. So there are no metal sorcerers currently available. I'm not really sure about these schools. Oh, I know Death. We played vampires. We saw the Death School. Death School is pretty strong. Yeah, the Death School has Purple Sun of Xerius, which I've used to great effect, and it has, where is it? Spirit Leech. Spirit Leech is really great. I don't know that I've ever played with the Fire School, which kind of makes me want to. So we can imbue people with magic damage on their attacks. We can shoot a giant burning skull out at the battlefield. That seems alright. Large area effect damage. Gives enemies map-wide a weakness to fire damage. And then we can imbue our... We can shoot magic, fire magic at them and imbue our allies with flaming damage and stuff. Okay, that's a cool idea. It seems like death is maybe more useful. But I think we're gonna take a fire sorcerer out just so that I can see it and, you know, give it a shot. So I'll recruit one more guy, and then next turn we'll still have enough money to pick up the sorcerer and have him trail the army. Let's go to the Sarl encampment and make a murder happen. Oh, we could get a metal sorcerer too now. We can significantly lower enemy combat stuff. We can... The wizard unleashes a hail of magical energy, transmuting his foes into unliving golden statues. Causes severe damage to combatants. Yeah, I bet. Armor and leadership for your units. Gehenna's golden hounds. That sounds cool. Plague of rust that dramatically lowers enemy armor. That actually could be really useful. Not right now, but eventually we will be fighting... enemies that are pretty armored. Let's take a fire sorcerer. Okay, he has no movement at first. Oh, well, I wouldn't want to trespass. Vandred Bergfalk. Well, you're certainly not the king of the Varg. Man, the Varg are really spread out. This is frustrating. I have no idea which direction to go in to try to kill their boss. Well, actually, we'll use our hero to scout the Varg camp. So let's not declare anything this turn. Let's try to get a better view of the situation. We are definitely going to take over the Varg. Oh, Volley Snigerson has returned from his absence and is ready for duty. Well, he's gonna just keep being absent for a while. Come on. Okay, we can see into the Varg camp, and there is indeed no army to be found. So we could attack them.
The gods might compel me
But let's
to
do it.
kill,
Let's do it over here.
but I do it freely.
Oh, cool. Congratulations on that. Oh, hey, I saw him. Wintertooth. There he is. That's Throg. So if we can force them to confederate, I think that would be a really good idea. Alright, let's put these guys down real fast. Let's try to get their lord's attention. Hey, we're making good money off of our post-battle loot, at least. These guys are barely better at killing than that one Skaling lord. So I think I want to occupy stuff in the north for the most part. I mean, I do want to get this eventually, but I think I want to take over the Norscan settlements and use them to generate income. Okay, so the Bay of Blades and the Tower of Croc. The Tower of Croc has been raised, actually. Interesting. I wonder if the Varg army is down here, maybe. Oh, hey, I just realized I was going to try to keep these episodes to like less than 45 minutes, and here we are already. It's very easy to get drawn into one of these games. Let's do one more turn, and then we'll call it for now. Oh, what is this? I have important events. Okay. We've found a beast trainer who will lower the recruitment cost for giants, frostworms, and mammoths. Well, that is a distant concern. Your warriors can be even more effective when mounted. On the back of a beast, they will charge the enemy with greater ferocity and cut deeper into their lines. But should they break in wild horses or gain the obedience of a wolf pack? So we can we can increase the recruitment cost for wolf-based units, but also their effectiveness, or the other thing, but for cavalry. Well, I don't care about any of this stuff. We have a unit of skin wolves, I guess. Sure, make the skin wolves more effective for a little while. Okay. So do I want to take Eye of the Gods? I probably want to get to Stand or Die. It's a nice thing to have. So Marauder Champions we don't have any of. We do have Hunters. This is a pretty good skill. Yeah, let's get some missile damage for our Hunters. So I don't know that I want to start another war right now. Let's go to the Bay of Blades.
The eternal challenger.
Really? There's a Kislev army up here. Well, now that's very interesting. I thought when we saw Varg on the map earlier, I thought it said they had a ton of settlements. I guess maybe the Kislevites have been wiping them out? Actually, this is probably cool for us, right? If Kislev takes the Bay of Blades, which it sure looks like they will, then all we have to do is head back to the Varg camp. I'm gonna run... Well, what hero actions do you have? So you can assassinate, magical interference, damage building. I think I'm gonna run the hero over to our army. I think he wants to join us. He did a good job scouting over here. But yes, the reason the Tower of Croc is ruined is probably because Kislev's up here. Well, that suits me just fine. So let's turn around. I'm going to trust that they've got that under control. And we're going to go wipe out the Varg camp. We're going to unite the North one way or the other. So what do I want to... Do I want to build a ruinous altar? I do want to get public order in a place where it's going to be okay even when there's not an event on. I don't need constant insurrections. Not that I necessarily think we need a huge number of shaman sorcerers, but it is nice to have units out on the map so that they can scout and stuff. Yeah, build me another ruinous altar. And we'll upgrade our dock as well. We're going to need the income. Alright, attack and defense for all of our marauders. I'm sure we'll be, you know, deep on cooler units eventually, but for right now, marauder units are the bread and butter of our everything, really. So, alright, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Honestly, I think, so far, pretty successful. Come back next time, probably later today. You know, a new thing comes out, I just can't help myself. But come back next time, probably later today. We're going to unite the rest of Norsca under our banner, and then we're going to turn our eyes southward. And we'll see you then.